What's going on, guys? Not your ordinary critic. And why not, guys? Why not review this kind of movie? Halloween. Especially we're on the upcoming movie on October 19th. The new one comes out, which takes place after the very first original movie, which is the best movie, in my opinion, as is suspense and the creepiness. This movie, right before I get into this review, this movie doesn't go on the gore, especially for being a 70s movie. It doesn't need the gore factor. It more has the creepiness and the suspense factor, which really sets the tone for the movie, in my opinion. And yeah, it's very realistic, especially the kills. They weren't over the top. They were just, they were mediocre at best, but they're very realistic for a killer, and that's what makes it scary. Especially for the budget for this film. John Carpenter didn't have a big budget for this film. You can tell in this movie that it was very low budget. He worked with what he had, especially if he wasn't, especially at the time, he wasn't a big actor. But but he made it big in other movies, especially after this one. He made Big Trouble in Little China. Of course, he made the music for Christine, and yeah, the music, especially in the Halloween 1 and 2. The music sets the tone, and it really builds that suspense, in my opinion. But yeah, let's get right into the review. I mean, Michael Myers, he gets out of, the institution, and Loomis is after him, and he pretty much, his very last, I think he just wants to kill Laurie. He killed his sister. Um, I think him and Laurie are not related, especially in the trailer. Uh, I watched that they're not related. They pretty much confirmed that. But yeah, he's pretty much after her. He's stalking her. He killed her friends. Loomis is trying to go after him. He gets help from the cops. I think this movie itself was a great for what it was, especially for being a 70s slasher film. This it was just the one of the very first ones, in my opinion, to be scary. As a factor of the creepiness, as a factor of how Michael Myers was very unique. He was very crafty. He was very he was just a natural born killer. He was just like a real life killer, and that's what made it scary, in my opinion. But his creepiness, his stalking and all that, it was all well planned. And yeah, this guy, he's silent, but he's also smart with what he does, and that's the scariest factor about Michael Myers, in my opinion. He also uses his head, and even though he doesn't talk, he knows what he's doing. But I mean, this movie was great. Loomis was a big factor in this movie. Him, the psychiatrist. God bless his soul. He's not with. He's not. He passed away a couple years ago. I think right after Halloween 5, Halloween 6, I think, somewhere around there. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, he pretty much set the tone for this movie. He made this movie where he built Michael Myers up like he was a monster, and he was a monster with no remorse, no heart. Um, he was just scary, man. He was just scary. He was he built him up like he was a monster, and yeah, I mean, and yeah, he was a scary guy, man. Some guy that you wouldn't want to mess with, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, he was such a great addition to this franchise. He was on 4 or 5 movies, I think. Five, yeah, around there, especially with the one with Jamie in it. And yeah, this movie, he just, he kills it, in my opinion, and he really sets the tone. But the movie itself is great. The suspense is great. The creepiness is great. It's great to watch on Halloween. And in my opinion, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good movie. I suggest you check it out, especially if you're a Halloween fanatic like myself, a horror fanatic, anything like that. You should check it out. Especially if you never watched the Halloween, but I suggest you watch this one. This is the most important one, especially the new ones coming out. It's very important to watch this one. Probably gonna watch this one before I go watch a new one, since the new one takes place right after this one. You know, so this one, the very first one, and the second one. This is pretty much the new one coming as a second film towards this one, takes place 40 years after. And yeah, I'm just very. If you want to see more, if you want me to, do more Halloween films, if you want me to do all the Halloween franchise, I'll do that. But let me know, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment. Please subscribe. This movie was great, and I like sharing movies because that's my passion. And yeah, guys, thanks again. If you're new to my channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next video, guys. Thanks again. Bye.